Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to today's video, where we are continuing with our Dragoon storyline. Where we left off, we just got the Dragoon Soul Crystal, and we learned our elusive jump. So, and we met Estinian for the first time. So, th- let's talk with Albert and continue on with the story. You grow ever stronger, and I speak of more than just the flesh. You are slowly but surely realizing your potential as an Azure Dragoon. It is heartening to look upon, though I must confess that my preceding feeling is one of relief. You must understand that the mere thought that the eye would choose an outsider, one who ill comprehends the threat posed by the dragons, filled me with the greatest of misgivings. Yet you have, but I shall say no more. Yes, flattery impede your improvement. Now, during our last lesson, I enlightened you regarding the origins of dragoons. You recall how Haldrath heroically triumphed over the great worm Nihog, and Ishgard came into possession of the eye. Tell me, Connor, do you believe that these events truly transpired, or are you inclined to think that they're false, that they're fairy tales? I ask you because few folk have seen dragons in the flesh beside we Ishgardians, and most would as soon dismiss them as products of the imagination. Alas, dragons are no less real than you and I, with Nihar perhaps the most real of all. In the course of its history, Ishgard has suffered the creature's wrath on 8 separate occasions. Each time great worms rose, the blood of countless Ishgardians is spilled. Let us revisit the past once more, Connor, this time in 20 summers past, and the place Dravania. After a century in slumber, Nihar awakened once more to resume his reign of terror. Entire villages were razed to the ground, their inhabitants reduced to smoldering ash. Sensing the great worm's unbridged rage, others of his kind began to rouse, in such numbers as to blot out the sun with their wings. A deep foreboding darkness swept over Ishgard. Raging infernos painted the belly of the sky in an angry red, the agonizing screams of innocence fading into deathly silence. In my station as the Azure Dragoon, I was I was there through it all, bore witness to all the horrors. But there was no time to offer even a silent player. Nihog lingered in one place only long enough to lay it to waste, and when he took wing, so too did I pursue him, a man possessed. This game of cat and mouse continued for what seemed an eternity before I found myself face to face with the great worm. The battle unfolded in a tiny settlement of the edge of Corthius, raging on for 3 days and 3 nights with neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. Remaining on my feet by sheer force of will, I realized that it must now end, now else it shall never end well. Marshalling my last ounce of strength, I raged on a single thrust. My lance struck home, burying deep in the ruin of my opponent's empty eye socket. Yet before I could withdraw my weapon, the worm lashed out wildly in its agony, dealing a blow that left me sprawled upon the scorched earth, nigh instant. In that instant I thought myself surely doomed. But Halon was not finished with me. Having lost the taste for battle, Nihar let loose a blood-curdling roar before fleeing to the sky. The battle was over. While I did not perish from my injuries, they rendered my body unfit to bear the power of the dragon, and I was the Azure Dragoon no more. Lying bedridden, my thoughts wandered to all the innocent lives that had been lost, the people I had failed to protect. That last conflict with the dragons of Dravania left countless orphans in its wake. Estanian is one of them, the sole survivor of Ferndale, the final village to suffer Nihog's wrath. With none left to care for him, I did the only thing I could. I took Estanian as my own son, instructed him in the ways of the dragoon when he was of an age to learn. Yet I would not have thought to think me noble. My actions were born not of compassion but of guilt, my guilt of having failed him. But alas, I have also failed him as a father, for the manner of man did I bring him up to be. A thief who would endanger the life of every one of his countrymen? Aye, you heard me right. All of Ishgard may suffer for his crime. Though we know little and less of the minds of dragons, it is conceivable that the disturbance surrounding his stolen eye will rouse Nihog to awaken once more, that his kin have already stirred from slumber serves as fair warning of that. Time is not on our side. Fortunately, it would seem you are more than ready to embark on your next trial. Make your way to Rich Drop, where the knight Histinian awaits your arrival. My nation is dependent on you, Connor. I know I mispronounced that name up quite a bit. We are heading there. Just to save time, we're going to fly there. I hope you're all enjoying the series. And after this is done, I should do I'll probably be doing Dark Knight, since I also have that job at level 80. So I had the full story as of now. You are the one who aspired to be Azure Dragoon. Why? You not even of Ishgard. If you truly possess the power that Sir Albert seen in you, then prove it to me with your lance, on guard. That strength, I have not seen its like since Estinian himself stood before me. Mayhap Sir Albert was right of it. After all, return and show your crest to him. I have no doubt that he will be pleased. A lot of this is one-hit KOs because I am level 80. My item level is 510. But it will not be this. It will not be this easy when y'all go through this yourselves. Now, this does happen to be one of my favorite mounts. But it's a store mount from the Mog Station, so it's it's pretty expensive. You have passed yet another trial of flying colors, Connor. The day when you may stand before Athenian as an equal is not far off, and when that day comes, the eye will choose you over the traitor. I have no doubt of this, but we must be patient still, for now you must continue your training when you can do no more on your own. Seek me out once more. And now we learn Doomspike. Now let's continue on with the next one. Impeccable timing, Connor. A message arrived from Athenian but moments ago. Much to my astonishment, he would trade words with us and bid us meet him under the boulder at Boulder Downs. As to his true intentions, I cannot say. It may well be a trap, but we must go nonetheless. I trust I can count upon your company. So right there is where we need to go. Let's hop on a mount and we travel there. If you like the series, make sure to hit the like button. It truly helps out a lot. Here. Greetings, master. It has been too long. Athenian, end this folly at once. You must know that each second the eye passes outside Ishgard walls brings us closer to the repeat of the tragedy of 20 summers past. Surrender yourself and the eye and return with me to Ishgard before it is too late. Alright, but it is already too late, master, for you see Nihar has already awakened. What? Hear me, master. You have mistaken the cause of the dragon's return. The eye is not to blame. A premonition came to me by virtue of the dragon within, warning me that the great worm would soon rise. Even as he slumbered, Nihar seethed with irrepressible rancor for that wound of 20 years ago. That rancor would send him flying as a speeding arrow to Ishgard, whereupon death and devastation will ensue. But there is a possible solution. Were the eye taken to a remote land far from the Holy See, then and only then could destruction be averted and the lives of innocent Ishgardians be spared. You, You mean to make a bait of yourself? Nay, there is more to this than you let on. You seek vengeance for Ferndale. To me, the two are one and the same. You know my past better than anyone else. It was for no other reason than to avenge my family that I became a dragoon. Dragons long outlive men and do not soon forget the wounds done to them. What grudges they harbor burns as the fire in their hearts, over time swelling into an unquenchable inferno. You need only look back on history to see that Nihar grows stronger with each awakening. When last he darkened our skies, the great worm came within a hair's breadth of laying waste to Ishgard. Not, not short of death will prevent him from completing his mission when next he wakes. Nihar took everything from me, now I shall take everything from him, even if it means my life. The eye works in ways men can ill comprehend, but this much is plain. In choosing two azure dragoons in one generation, it means for us to join together in a common cause. Adventurer, you have heard my resolution. Now I ask that you lend me your power, the power of the dragon. In the long and proud history of Ishgard, never before have two azure dragoons arisen in the same era to fight as one. This is our best, nay, our only chance to send the great worm to an eternal slumber. Behold my armor. This is the dragon mail forged in the lifeblood of dragons. As blood calls for blood, so too does the armor call to the dragon within, redoubling the wearer's strength thereby three by. If you would realize your potential as an Azure Dragoon, you must need clad yourself in the same. Clad so you will inherit the techniques passed from the Azure Dragoon to Azure Dragoon down through the generations. Then and only then will your training be complete. But first, you must win the Dragon Mail as I and Sir Albert did before you, by proving yourself worthy in the ultimate trial of the Azure. The series of battles so harrowing that as it tends the unworthy to an early demise. Master, once the adventurer acquires the armor, pray see to it that he learns to harness the power of the dragon in full. Athenian, wait. Save your worries. I do not mean to make myself easy prey for the dragons. I take my leave of you. Dragoons had the best armor in this game in my opinion. Dragoons are just awesome. Now time to head back to Albert and we'll get the party started from there. Estanian. Forgive me. I was deep in thought. Now then as to acquire the armor of which Estanian spoke. At first it was my intention to bequeath my own armor to you. I am an Azure Dragoon no longer, and its powers are wasted on me. It would be simple enough to hand it over to you and complete your training right here and now. But it is as Estinian said, the dragon armor is no ordinary set of mail. Its strength derives from the dragon blood whence it came, the blood power resonating within the soul of the wearer. Though I can no longer draw upon my own armor's power, its bound to me was forged years ago where I bestowed upon you now. I fear that it would offer but a stintia of its potential it afforded me in those bygone days. Alright, Estinian has the right of it. You must claim the armor as he and I did before you. You must complete the trials of the Azure and the powers of the dragon blood be yours and yours alone. The ogre's belly will be where your final trial begins. I shall dispatch Sir Brucemont there. Seek him out upon your arrival. You have grown strong since the last met, adventurer, but you pale in comparison with your Azure's forebear. Alright? I accidentally skipped part of the story, but that'll be fine. Once again, adventurer, you prove yourself worthy beyond my expectations. Take this, but know that your trial has only just begun. Your next challenge lies in the chamber beyond. Sir Hitsume awaits you there. You, a foreigner, would don the Draken armor? Then prove to us that you will not do it dishonor. Sir Albert said that the Eye had chosen you, and it would appear he speaks true. The armor is yours. Wear it with pride and honor. Your trial is nigh complete, but be forewarned. Many before you have made it this far, only to fall in the final challenge. Do not let overconfidence be your downfall. And just so you know, you see right here, it says Draken Gauntlets, level 45. I already had the chest piece glamored on, so that's exactly what this looks like. So you made it this far, very well. Prove yourself worthy of the Azure, or die in the effort. You have demonstrated your prowess before to me, and beyond a doubt, this is not an Ishgardian who would gainsay your right to don the armor of the dragons. I shall send word ahead to Sir Albert that you have passed your trials here. It is he who will present to you with the fourth piece of their armor and consummate your training. Go, go on, my fellow dragoon, and deliver this land from the great worm's wrath. Now it's time that we get out of here and head back to Sir Alberic. I do apologize for mispronouncing names. So, to keep the video from getting any longer, I'll only be doing two crests per video, since they do take an ample amount of time. I hear from Sir Brucemont that you performed most impressively. Yes, I stand more convinced than ever that you will be the one to save our land. Yet be warned, Connor, one last trial awaits you. You will face this trial in the presence not of knights, but of ghosts. Make your way towards Stair Vigil and seek out the gravestone north and west of the structure. Take this with you, this flute, and when you reach your destination, blow a single strong note. A visitor shall soon arrive. Entertain your guest, and you should leave behind a present. Return it here to me. All right. We are heading up here. So hmm, I thought it'd be a longer quest than that. But this is the end of this quest, so it should be. It normally would be, finished that fast. Your presence before me indicates that you've seen to the visitor. Have you brought to show for your deeds? Ah, the skull of the of Greyrine, old warrior of the Javanian horde. It is said that in ages past he could bring down a castle with a single breath. His strength has dwindled since those days, but a dragon past his prime is a formidable foe nonetheless. In slaying him, you have proven yourself worthy of this. You now possess 4 pieces of armor that Stenian, myself, and our forebears did wear. While you doubtless wonder about the fifth, I can tell you that only that it is not mine to give. Fear not, however, your triumph in the trials and against the dragon of the horde give evidence that drinking blood now resonates with yours. You now stand before me as prepared as your ultimate challenge as Annie can be. And yet, before we proceed, I would hear it from your own lips. The great worm's power is the stuff of legends. Have you truly resolved to fight this battle, to risk your own life, to deliver a foreign land from the clutches of its ancient foe? When you are certain that your mind is settled, return and speak to me. Alright, that does it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, make sure you press the like button. It helps out a lot. Until tomorrow, adios.